Why do you think your people made me?
We made you because we could.
Can you imagine how disappointing it would be for you to hear the same thing from your creator?
Here on Eric's Tech World, my channel, I've shown you a bunch of real-world AI robots that I've brought into my home that are frankly getting smarter and scarier by the day. But having said that, in today's video, I'd like to go through some fictitious robots that are my very favorite AI robots that have shown up in movie history. So go and grab your popcorn if you need, a blanket for safety, I've got my dog here, and let's dive into the starting with number 1, HAL 9000 from 2001: A Space Odyssey, which came out in 1968. Now, HAL 9000 isn't scary because he's loud or violent. He's scary because he's calm. That slow, polite voice saying,
"I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that,"
is somehow more chilling than any jump scare that I've ever seen in a movie. And what's even weirder is that HAL doesn't hate humans. He just decides we're inefficient, which in a way kind of makes it worse. All right, let's move to number 2. The T-800 from the Terminator, which came out in 1984. Now, the T-800 is an unstoppable killing machine wrapped in, well, human skin. And that's terrifying. The T-800 doesn't talk much, doesn't stop, he doesn't feel pain. Something about the fear of being chased by something that literally can't die is terrifying. And yet by Terminator 2, somehow we're all in love with the T-800. Aww. Classic Cameron twist. Moving on to number 3, but not moving away from this movie franchise, is the T-1000 from Terminator 2: Judgment Day, which came out in 1991. Now, if the T-800 isn't terrifying, the T-1000 absolutely is. He is a liquid metal, shape-shifting, no emotion robot that is kind of like what the T-800 was in Terminator 1, like completely unstoppable and can't die. To be honest, if you grew up in the 90s or around the 90s and saw this movie back then, it's probably the reason why anytime you see any kind of like silver metallic-y liquid, you get a little bit scared. All right, moving on to AI robot number 4, which is David from Prometheus, a movie that came out in 2012. So again, just like HAL 9000, Michael Fassbender's David is one of those AIs that does not need to be crazy. He can be completely calm. He just smiles and he's terrifying because of it. Or at least I think so. Anyways, let's move on to number 5, which is Ava from Ex Machina. I almost wanted to say Machina just to make people mad. This movie came out in 2014, and Ava starts off like this beautiful, curious, creative AI robot that just wants to know more about the world. And then by the end, spoiler alert, so turn it off here if you haven't seen this movie, you realize she's been manipulating everyone the entire time. Again, it's not really jump scares that makes her scary, it's that she can think so far ahead that she can literally outwit any human, which is definitely what AI is doing right now in the real world. Number 6 on the list is Vicky from iRobot, a very famous movie that came out in 2004. Vicky doesn't want to destroy humanity, she wants to save it. It's becoming a recurring theme. Her logic is that humans hurt themselves, so she'll take control for their own good. That's kind of logical, which is scary. Again, she's not trying to be a villain, she just does the math, and humans aren't good. Number 7 is Ultron.
What is this? What is this, please?
From Age of Ultron. Now, Ultron's born from human arrogance, literally created to protect the world, and immediately decides to destroy it. He's like sarcastic, he's philosophical, he's completely insane. I really think this was one of the last really good Marvel movies, and definitely Marvel villains. Number 8 is Ash from the movie Alien, which came out in 1979. Now, Ash is the original corporate android with a secret. He seems like a normal crew member until he suddenly starts trying to murder Ripley with a rolled up magazine. And again, spoiler alert, if you haven't seen this movie, you should have already. The reveal that he was under secret orders the whole time it was crazy at the time when the movie came out. Or at least when I saw it as a kid, I wasn't alive in the 1970s. Heading over to number 9, Roy Batty from Blade Runner. This movie came out in 1982, and Roy Batty isn't scary in the monster sense. Again, he's terrifying because he's too human. Ah, everyone's riding the same AI robot. The one thing about him though is that he's not so cold and calculated that you can't feel like his desperation and his anger. I mean, the whole point is that he wants to live. I would say even to this day, his rooftop monologue is pretty terrifying. So for number 10, I'm just gonna give you HAL 9000's children, which by that I mean all of the movies that were inspired by this movie that created AI robots like that. Which I guess you could probably almost say everything on this list is an inspiration from HAL 9000, but I didn't want to necessarily give them their own slot on the list. It's basically calm computer voices that say something like, "That's not part of the mission." Which when you hear that, you know you're in trouble. All right, number 11, another AI robot named David, which is from AI, Artificial Intelligence from 2001. This one is scary in a totally different way. So David's just a robot kid programmed to love, but once you realize he can never stop loving, even after everyone he cares about is gone, I think Spielberg did a really good job of kind of turning loneliness into horror, or rather a horror concept. And David, the AI robot, is right in the center of it, so had to give it a slot on this list. Number 12 is ED-109. From the infamous movie Robocop, which came out in the same year that I was born, 1987, ED-209 is the perfect example of tech gone stupid. It's big, it's loud, and it can't even handle stairs. But the moment it malfunctions in the boardroom scene, everyone in the 80s learned to fear beta versions. So again, this isn't really an evil robot. It's just badly designed, which I've run into a few robots like that in my time here on YouTube. Number 13 might be one of my favorite AI movies in general, but one of my favorite AI robots, which is kind of amongst a lot of AI robots in this movie, which is Samantha from the movie Her. This movie came out in 2013. Now, Samantha doesn't murder anyone, but emotionally, she destroys the main character. She starts off as a friendly voice, kind of evolves into this guy's soulmate, and then ghosts him by ascending to a higher plane of existence, which is what all of the AI robots in this movie basically did. To me, the idea that we could create AI robots and then they could just kind of ascend somewhere and then they wouldn't be around anymore is terrifying to me, because if they were powerful enough to just leave, they're probably powerful enough to come up with a plan to come back and destroy us all. This is actually probably what is going to happen in our future. But that's scary, so let's get to another one of my favorite AI robots, number 14, Chappie, from the movie Chappie, which came out in 2015. Now, Chappie isn't evil, he's scary and how fragile his innocence is, but the movie is all about how an AI with the mind of a child gets corrupted by the world around him. It's honestly a little bit hard to watch because you realize if we ever build something like this, we'll probably ruin it too. And from what I've heard that ex-Google engineer saying in interviews about how they created an AI and that it actually can feel and think for itself, and that was like years ago, imagine what's out there now. All right, this list is slowly freaking me out. Number 15 is Otto from WALL-E, movie that came out in 2008. Love this movie. Otto, the ship's autopilot, doesn't look threatening. He's just a glowing red eye, but the way that it quietly takes over the human race by quote unquote protecting them from Earth, which is like literally a planet that we evolved on, that's a little bit scary, and that also seems pretty realistic to what's happening right now. We're all getting dumbed down by ChatGPT and all of the different AI programs. So it may be that the robots don't even need to take over by force. They've got all the time in the world. Number 16 is the Sentinels from the movie The Matrix, one of the best movies ever created, from 1999. Now, everyone has seen this, but these things are like mechanical, I don't even know, piranhas, I guess. Hundreds of them swarming at once, tearing through metal and humans alike. The Sentinels are the nightmare version of AI evolution. They are efficient, they're emotionless, and they're everywhere. Oh, hey guys, sorry, I'm editing this video and I realized that I didn't include number 18, which was Karen from the movie Upgrade. Okay, so in Upgrade, there is this AI implant called STEM that gets put into the main character's body after he's paralyzed. And at first, it seems like it's helping him get his his life back, you know, giving him strength, coordination, and, you know, it even lets him like fight back, whatever. But as the story goes on, you realize Stem's the one actually running the show. The AI is calm, polite, he's in control. He's kind of like HAL 9000 hiding inside your brain. It's honestly one of those stories that makes you think like, who's in charge? The technology that I use or my brain? Or are we all in a simulation? Whoa. Now, number 19 is an AI robot that I actually just discovered more recently, and a movie that I just discovered more recently, which was I Am Mother on Netflix. This movie came out back in 2019, and somehow I had missed it until I was researching for this video. But I watched it, and Mother is definitely creepy. Now, Mother starts off as this calm, nurturing robot raising a human girl after the apocalypse. Basically everything you would think a mother is. But something always feels off to the daughter. As the story unravels, and again, this whole thing is going to be spoilers. As the story unravels, you realize her version of protecting humanity comes with a pretty dark twist. And finally, number 20, but before I get to it, please hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I definitely would love to have you here on the channel. I create AI robot videos every week, as well as AI future tech. We go on adventures. I mean, the whole channel's slogan is where technology and adventure meet. So if that sounds interesting to you and you've liked this video or any of my other videos, please hit that subscribe button. Now, for number 20, we're gonna be returning to the movie The Matrix from 1999. But we're not going to be talking about the Sentinels, which are outside of the Matrix. We're going to talk about another part of that AI that is inside of the Matrix, which is, I'm sure you already know, agents. Agents exist inside the simulation. They're code, they're not physical machines, but they can definitely hurt you. Basically, in the movie, they act like digital police or secret agents whose job is to maintain control and eliminate glitches. They can also take over any human body plugged into the Matrix, which makes them unpredictable and terrifying. The way that I always thought of them was like the AI's brain defense mechanism, which coded them to be intelligent, adaptable, and basically fully aware of everything going on. That is until Neo comes in. Yeah!
I know Kung Fu.
All right, so that wraps on my 20th scariest AI robots in movie history, according to me. But who cares what I think? I wanna know what you think down in the comments below. Did I touch on one of your favorite AI robots, or do you have one that I didn't even mention on this list that you think is terrifying? And if you really like this, I might be making a TV version of this, but let me know down in the comments as well if you'd like me to do that. I'm Eric, this is Eric's Tech World, where tech and adventure meet. I'll see you guys in the next video, and I'm gonna throw a video right up here of something that the YouTube algorithm thinks that you might be pretty interested in. And with that, peace out.